welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making these custard tarts. They are actually so good. So first you want to go to the stove and go ahead and stay at like a medium flame, and then you want to get a pot, and then you want to add some sugar. Then you want to add your milk. Now all the measurements on the description box down below. Then go ahead and mix it until the sugar is dissolved. Now we're going to add some vanilla essence. Now you want to add quite a lot of vanilla essence because there's going to be egg in this recipe, and otherwise it's going to be too eggy. So now we're only going to be using the yolk. We're not going to be using the white. So then you're going to add some cornflour. Try using cornflour, but cornstarch is also fine. And go ahead and mix it really well. Now use a whisk so it'll be easier, and mix it a lot. Like mix it as much as possible until no like streaks of cornflour are remaining. Then I'm going to just clean that up. Okay, there we go. So now just keep mixing. You could also use a hand mixer, but I wanted to make this recipe without any of that and just use a whisk. Now as you can see, I'm whisking a lot. You want to do that as well because it's very important. Now we're going to temper this. So tempering is basically so now we're just going to add very little bit of the milk and go ahead and mix it a lot, like quite a lot. And then once it's thoroughly mixed and there are no lumps, you can add half more of the mixture of milk. So this is what tempering is. Okay, now so we're gonna add this mixture to the pot again with some remaining milk, and go ahead and whisk that again so that it's all combined. And now what you want to do is you want to go back to the stove again to like about medium heat again, and just keep mixing. It'll the more you mix, it'll get thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker, and that's why you want to make sure you mix, otherwise lumps will form. Now you want to go ahead and transfer this mixture to a bowl, and make sure you don't waste any because some will stick to the pot, so you want to make sure you really scrape it down. And then what you want to make sure, if you have cling wrap, or also known as plastic wrap or other things, you can use that and just press it down on the custard, but I don't have that, so that's why I'm just using a simple plate to just cover it, and I make sure the plate touches the custard. Now in another bowl we're going to make the tart shell. So first you want to add your flour, all-purpose flour, and then you want to add some butter. Softened butter really works well. You want to make sure it's softened and try to cut it up into cubes, and go ahead and take your you want to make sure you knead it into the flour, and it should form this sort of rough dough, like a sort of sand. Then you want to add water. Now the angle will change a little bit, so now you want to just add water really slowly. You want to add a tablespoon at a time, and then the more you add, it'll form into a dough. Okay, now that the dough is formed, just make sure you knead it just for like 20 seconds roughly. Don't over knead it. Then you want to chill in the fridge for about an hour. So after it's been chilled, you want to go ahead and roll it. Now you can fly your surface really less, but it's really not necessary. Now you want to take some silicone mold liners, and this is a trick that I learned. So go ahead and roll your dough, and then turn your cup molder the other side and put your dough on top. Then cut around it, but leave a little bit of excess, but cut around it. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure you cut around it well. Don't overcut, but don't undercut as well. Then you want to remove it. Now you know that's roughly amount of dough you need to stuff into it, just like how I'm doing. And then what you can do is you just press it a little bit so that it's all pretty even, and then remove the excess dough that's on top. You want to make sure you remove the excess dough because it just makes the tart look a little better, otherwise it looks pretty bad. So make sure you remove the excess dough, and that's it. You can go ahead and follow the next step. So this makes roughly about 5. I've not shown the 5th one, but it makes roughly about 5. So now I'm just going to take those and put them into a cupcake liner. So this is without like a proper tart shell because I don't have that. So now you want to go ahead and bake that. Measurements are in the description box down below. So now I have a simple Ziploc bag. You don't need any fancy piping bag. Just use a Ziploc bag and put it in a cup, and go ahead and add your custard mixture to it. And this should be cold, so it's just so much better if it's cold. You could do hot, but I don't think it's good. So make sure your mixture is cold, and go ahead and put that in the piping bag. And then you can just remove your piping bag from the cup and go ahead and close it. And then this is your piping bag. Now this is just a make do piping bag because, like, I don't have a piping bag at hand, so this Ziploc bag does the job. So now I just snip the end, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna just fill your dart your liner kind of things with it. Now this custard tastes so good, and the thing I like most about it is that it's not eggy at all. So make sure you add the vanilla essence, the given measurement of vanilla essence, otherwise it's gonna be pretty eggy. Now I'm just taking a spoon and smoothing it out because otherwise you can see those piping tip lines which I don't really like. So I'm just taking the back of a spoon and smoothing it out. Very easy, very simple, nothing too fancy. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please like, share and subscribe. Bye!